You know, life is so precious. Life is really precious because, and I do these videos, and I hate doing these videos usually. These tribute videos to the faithful departed in the world of professional wrestling, sports, or other sports, I should say, TV, movies, politics, whatever it may be. Because you hear about somebody dying, and, as always, we have to fact check shit. So we go on TMZ or Google or whatever it may be. And lo and behold, that person is actually dead. And as I always say in these videos, take life one day at a time, because we never know when it'll be our last day, whether we'll be healthy or we're not that sick, we have some type of illness we're getting over, or we have something like cancer, or, just a debilitating illness that there's no cure for, like cancer and other things. But, man. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we have some breaking news on this Mother's Day. I know I should be happy right now, celebrating Mother's Day and everything. A lot of people are going to be going out with their mothers, or celebrating Mother's Day with their mom or grandma, whoever it may be. It should be a fun time, right? But it's not a fun day today, ladies and gentlemen. There's breaking news, and it's real. I am not making this up. Go look it up on Google or on Wrestling Inc., Ringside News, Twitter. Twitter is blowing up right now with this news. But we lost Sabu. I am not making it up. We have lost ECW World Heavyweight Champion, Hardcore Legend, the genocidal, suicidal, homicidal, death-defying Sabu! Yes, we have lost Sabu today. This news came out a couple of minutes ago, about a half hour ago. I'm floating around Facebook, and I have Ringside News as, I follow Ringside News on my Facebook page, and I'm looking down my feed, and lo and behold, Ringside News, I see a picture of Sabu, and then in the freaking title of the freaking picture, it says, Sabu dead at 60 years old. I'm like, what? Sabu is dead? No, I'm like, no, that can't be right. So, I clicked on the link. Why not? And lo and behold, if you go on Ringside News, it's actually true. And I'm taking it from Wrestling Inc. Go on Google. It's there. And like I said, Twitter is blowing up right now with this news. But yes, indeed, Sabu, the legend, has passed away at the age of 60 years old. Former ECW champion, hardcore legend. He's fought in FMW. You know those matches. Those are crazy matches he's had with Mick Foley, with Onita, with, so many people. Hayabusa, that exploding cage match he had. All the bomb matches he's had in FMW. All the barbed wire matches. I mean, he's nephew of the Sheik. He's had so many great rivalries. I mean, probably the best rivalry of all time in ECW with Taz. We all know that. His feud with Terry Funk, Barbed Wire Massacre in ECW, when he won his only ECW championship and then proceeded to lose it to Taz, who then reclaimed the FTW title. Blah, 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 blah. Former tag team champion with Rob Van Dam. Fonzie was his manager, Bill Alfonso. And he's had a lot of really bad injuries. He broke his neck thanks to Chris Benoit in the early days of ECW. He broke it again in a match with Taz on a dragon suplex through a table. He's had leg injuries. His manager at the time was very sick. They had to amputate her leg. What was her name? Princess Janine, I think her name was. But man, today is not a good day. Not a good day. But anyway, The Wrestling World, I'm taking this from Wrestling Inc. I'll put the link down in the description box for all you to see. Sometimes I don't do it, and I apologize for not doing it, but this time I'll actually do it. The Wrestling World is saddened to learn the death of Terrence Brunk, not Bunk, Brunk, better known to fans as as former ECW champion Sabu. According to PW Insider, showing Ross Sapp and company, Sabu died at the age of 60. Little is known about the cause or time of death. He could have died, in his sleep. He could have died. I mean, we just found out this news about I'd say almost 45 minutes ago. Crazy. The news just comes just weeks after the hardcore icon wrestled his last match at Joey Janela's spring break in that hellacious barbed wire match where he took some bumps. Oy, oy, oy. I mean, the bump where he got sent into the barbed wire and a door, and he just fell on his ass. And then everyone was like, "Oh my God!" I think he won that match too. But that was his final match. Going out like he would go out, hardcore style against, guy like Joey Janela. I wish it was somebody else, but, it is what it is. The nephew, and I said, he is the nephew of Detroit wrestling legend and hardcore innovator, The Sheik. He got his start in the business in 1985, mostly wrestling in territories in the Midwest. He had a brief stint, in WWE, as well as matches in Japan's FMW. He joined the Renegade promotion in the mid-90s. Remember when he came out like he was like Hannibal Lecter? That was crazy. Became a central figure in the new hardcore promotion. And the promotion, coupled with Sabu's high-risk style, like I mentioned before, he's the homicidal, genocidal, suicidal, death-defying Sabu. Continues to influence a lot of people to this day. His feuds with Rob Van Dam, Taz, Terry Funk made him the stuff of tape trading legend. Like I said, FMW with guys like not Sandman, but in ECW, like the Sandman. He had a feud in WWE with John Cena during the kind of revival of ECW, as I call it, ECWWE, which, we all know what happened to ECW thanks to Vince McMahon. But I'm not going to get into that. And he had great feuds with Terry Funk in America, in Japan. Same thing with Onita. Same thing with Hayabusa. And those bomb matches were just insane. Also wrestled in TNA and had probably one of the most bloodiest barbed wire massacres in TNA history against his arch nemesis, Abyss. Never won any titles, in TNA or WWE. The last time he was actually in WWE, like I said, it was with John Cena. He had that match at the first one night stand against Rey Mysterio, when he did the triple jump DDT through the table, and both men were pretty much out of it, so the match ended in basically a no contest, because both men could not even continue. Blah, 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 blah. Like I said, he fought John Cena at Vengeance in 2006 and lost. He left ECW in 2007 to rejoin the indie circuit. I saw him I think it was 2014, 2015, at a local promotion in my area, where he fought my good buddy Joe Attell in a hardcore match, and, well, he won that match, obviously. Well, Sabu won. But, yeah, and he had his manager at the time, Princess Janine, I think her name was, or Jennifer. I think it was Princess Jennifer. I forgot her actual name, but, but she died, a few years after that. But, great seeing Sabu. We gave him the old ECW chants and shit. It was great. And that was pretty much the last time I actually met and saw Sabu. he had his retirement match April the 18th, a couple of weeks ago, like I said, with Joey Janela in a barbed wire massacre match where him and Janela were bleeding like stuffed pigs, because, that's how GCW is. But, 60 years old, taking bumps like that. And I think he had some hip problems. I know he had some leg problems. He was a mess. And still doing all these death-defying, crazy fucking spots. The Arabian Face Buster, flippy-dippity-doos on the tables by himself. It was just crazy. Sabu, I think, is probably one of the most hardcore guys I've ever seen in my life. He was a maniac. And you thought the Sheik was a maniac. And Terry Funk and, Mick Foley, and even, my good buddy Mike Awesome, and, Abdullah Butcher, and Brody, I almost said Brody Lee, Bruiser Brody, people like that. Hayabusa, Onita, and all the deathmatch legends that are probably dead or alive still. Just sad. I don't show emotion on my videos, but I'm still in shock that Sabu has passed away at the not so old age of 60. I'm 48. He's 12 years older than me, the guy. But, like I said, you never know when your last day is. It could be today, it could be tomorrow, it could be next week, next month, next year, a decade from now. We never know. We don't have the clock, like in that great Nickelback video. I wish we did, because then we all know when we're gonna die. But then, it could be 1 billion days until we die, or whatever it may be. And then next thing you know, 0! We don't know. We don't know when our number is called, when God calls us to come up to the pearly gates of heaven. We don't want to go. We don't want to leave our fans, or we don't want to leave our loved ones behind, because it sucks. They have to go through the mourning, and they have to go through all that shit for years to come. Hey, I have to deal with it with my brother from another mother. It's been 5 years since he passed. It's been many years since my grandma passed, my grandpa, my if you're Italian, my grandfather, my Italian grandfather and grandmother. My nonna and my nonno and my nonna. If you're Italian, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, then too bad. Losing some friends here and there. I had to go to a funeral a long time ago for one of my friends. He passed away from an overdose. Unexpectedly, in 2001. I hate going to funerals as it is. I went to one last year for one of my members of my immediate family who lost her mom. But she was up there in age, 80, almost 90 years old. But still, it's just sad. It's just, when we lose somebody close to us, I lost a wrestling cat, getting close to a year now. It'll be a year in September. I miss her a lot. I miss my other cat, Cookie, who died in 2019. I lost my godmother in 2019, I believe, as well. 2019, early 2000. Yeah, I think it was 2019 as well. So it wasn't a good 2019 for me in that department, but I mourned, I cried. I still miss the wrestling cats to this day. I miss my brother from another mother to this day. I know Rosa does too. She missed a lot. She's missed a lot of people to this day as well. It just sucks. I wish we had a Fountain of Youth. We had Dragon Balls. We can resurrect the dead. We can't do that. If we did, then everybody would be alive today, We wouldn't lose like Terry Funk and Sabu and the Sheik and Balls Mahoney, Axel Rotten, and the Shaw. Oh, that's a great tag team up there, man. Balls, Axel, Shaw, Sabu, Terry Funk. Oh, Bruiser Brody. Amazing people. Mike Awesome too. Even Jerome, New Jack. Crazy. They have a big hardcore wing up in heaven, and they're going crazy. No wonder it was thundering the other day. Because they're throwing each other into barbed wire explosives. Freaking crazy fucks, but I digress. But anyway, but all I have to say is to, Sabu's family, the Brunk family, I don't know if he was married and had kids, I think he did, but, to all, to Terry Brunk's family, my heartfelt condolences go out to him. I definitely know that tomorrow night, on Monday Night Raw, they're going to do an in memoriam to Sabu. I don't know if they're going to do something at the ECW arena, the 2300 arena, whatever it is. I know NXT's going to do something with a graphic. Definitely AEW's going to do something. I know Tony Khan's going to do something. And I think a lot of wrestlers, like Bill Alfonso's going to come out and say something if he hasn't already. Rob Van Dam, Mick Foley. Everybody in the world is going to come out on Twitter and Instagram, and I would hope they do like a heart. I would think, I don't know if it's going to happen, but like Tommy Dreamer or maybe the Sandman, all the ECW legends might do a tribute show to him. I would love to go to that in Philly, because it's not going to be here in New York, obviously. They're going to do something for Sabu. Definitely. TNA's going to do probably like an in memoriam to Sabu. SmackDown, obviously SmackDown this week. TNA, Ring of Honor, I mentioned that before. Everything this week is going to be in memoriam to Sabu. I would think they're going to do a tribute show somewhere down the line. If it's not immediately, but I think down the line. And indie shows here in New York and in the future, in and around the United States, Mexico, wherever, all around the world are going to pay tribute to Sabu. I know New Japan's going to do something with Sabu, so. Not that he was there in New Japan, but we all know him for his FMW days, All Japan days. It was just crazy. That guy's a sick fuck. But, once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in at 1:15 on a Sunday afternoon, Mother's Day Sunday, May the 11th, 2025, here on the Metal Guy channel. I'm Peter Joseph, by the way, but you knew that. Breaking news, Sabu has passed away at the age of 60. No cause of death as of right now. Hopefully later today, we'll find out the official cause of death. It might be natural causes, it might be something else, I don't know. But like I said, he did have some like leg problems, hip problems. He was really fucked up, and I'm surprised he was still going at it like a madman in these not so hardcore hardcore matches and some indie promotions, like here in New York. He had one in New York. It was tame-ish because of the garbage New York State Athletic Commission, which you can go fuck itself in many ways. Going to like GCW or JCW, blow up the wazoo. You can do that shit. And it was great that he went out like he would go out, like anybody would go out. Well, not everybody, but any hardcore guy would go out on his terms in a hardcore match. You got guys like Nick fucking Gage, thinking of his name, not Matt Tremont, and people like that are doing this violent, ultra-violent, hardcore style. That's why you got CCW at times emulating the stuff that Sabu brought with FMW, XPW. He had wars in XPW too. But just a sad day for all us hardcore wrestling fans that have been watching wrestling since, the 80s, some even before my time, but rest in peace to Sabu. You are a hardcore legend like Terry Funk, like Mike Awesome, and so on. So, it's just a bad day. So I'm going to go watch some old ECW tapes of Sabu, and some FMW, XPW stuff. It's just, I should be, happy and everything, going to take my mom to lunch with the missus and my dad, taking her out to lunch for a great day, because it is Mother's Day. It is, I mean, they and everything. But, you had this sad freaking news that one of your idols, and Sabu was, one of my favorite ECW ites. ECW wrestlers next to Tommy Dreamer. Not so much Taz, but I love Tommy Dreamer. And guys like Rob Van Dam, Bill Alfonso, Francine, Shane Douglas, people like that. But Sabu, every time I saw Sabu on TV and him doing all these crazy fucking spots, it was just like, this guy is nuts. And when I first saw him coming out, he came out he was in chains, like Hannibal Lecter with the mask even. It was just like, who is this guy? I mean, this guy is nuts. And then him doing flippy-dippy-doos through tables and shit. I'm like, and then seeing the FMW stuff of Hayabusa in the barbed wire cage, he almost freaking died. It was just, this guy is not human. But we got that. So once again, rest in peace to Sabu. And that's all I got to say about that. So thanks for watching, everybody. And all I gotta say about that is live life to the fullest. We never know when our last day is, because we could die just like that. So thank you for watching. Leave your comments down below if you want to. I know there's gonna be a lot of videos coming up today about Sabu. But like I said, this week in wrestling is, with Raw, NXT, Dynamite, Collision, Ring of Honor, TNA, SmackDown, everything is going to be in tribute to Sabu this week. And I would think, people, the ECW originals, like Taz, Taz is definitely going to say something on Wednesday, definitely, to one of his main rivals and shit. I know there's gotta be a tribute show. There's gotta be a tribute show to Sabu. But, we'll see what happens this week and in the weeks to come. But that's all I gotta say about that for now. Once again, rest in peace, Sabu. You're the best, man. And as always, when the lights go out, we think Sabu's coming out, but, maybe he is. Maybe it's the ghost of Sabu will come out. But, but I can't play his theme, obviously, because it's copyright, but I would play it right now, but because that epic theme, ECW theme, just amazing. But that's it. Sabu, rest in peace. Don't hurt Mikey and all those other guys up in heaven too much, okay? Just, you suicidal, genocidal, homicidal, great man that you are. Rest in peace, sir. And that's it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great Mother's Day. I'll see you next time. Peace.